What is up guys, I do hope you're well, and welcome to another video from the r/daddycringe subreddit. If you would like your story shared, don't forget to post it on r/daddycringe. If you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe button, and maybe even the notification bell. And let's get started. Next we have a story from LoJack, entitled "Parent Tries to Steal My Daughter's Graduation Car." So I go check out a car I saw on Facebook for my daughter who's getting ready to graduate HS, to go to college. A $1,100 1997 Nissan Altima, one of those easy fix engines. She's 18 and needs something reliable, and we set things up to meet at Burger King along the local bus route. I look it over, and the problems I can see are one's correctable over a weekend, and a case of beer with friends. So I take it on a test drive with the seller riding beside me. Overall the engine was good and I decided to buy it. However, as we're in Burger King taking care of title papers, a woman pulls up and barges in. Please note, title was original, this will be important. I sign the title, take the keys and start to walk out. I see her kicking the tyre and I ask what she's doing to my car. She looks like a typical Karen, the hair, the fancy dress, the aura of toxic entitlement. Key characters: me, medium erection. It talks to ghosts. EM, the ever-present blue waffle of society. EK, entitled kid. S, car seller. C, cop. SGT, cop sergeant. You know it's going to get spicy when there's cops in the cast. EM says, "I'll take it for $500. I'm confused. What? EM, your car, $500 now. Clapping while speaking. Oh, I've got to do it. Your car, $500 now. I say, "Stop this fucking bullshit clapping." Claps back in her face. She looks stunned I did it back. Give me a chance to talk to the Karen. "Now, what do you want?" "Well, that's just rude. I thought it was when you did it to me." "Whatever. Look, like I told you on Facebook yesterday, I'm here to buy the car for $500. That wasn't me. I just bought it." "Liar." The car seller steps out. "I told you yesterday it's $1,100. Take it or leave it. You told me you'd leave it, so I sold it to him." "Fine. You sell it to me then." And she's pointing at me. "No, I'd lose out on $600 then." "Not my fault. You take the $500 or I call the cops and claim you stole it from me and my son." Entitled kid pops out of mum's car. "Mum, you said you were picking it up and going. Now get me in my car and take me to GameStop for taking up so much of my time." "See what you did? You inconvenienced my son. He could be playing Fortnite with his friends. Now you get no money. Give me the fucking keys." "Fuck off, call the cops." Ian calls the cops. I wait. Seller waits. Finally the cops arrive. Cop says, "What's the prob?" My ex-husband points at the seller, "Stole my son's car and sold it to the guy he takes turns raping my son with." "What? What the fuck? Where did that come from?" "What?" Oh dear. Cop looks at us, readying his hand over the taser. "Get down on the ground." Me and S-doers were told to wait for backup. EM and EK are demanding their car keys from me so EK can go back to Fortnite. The officer takes the keys and was preparing to give them to her when the sergeant shows up, over my name being radioed in. They talk and the sergeant takes the keys and lets me out of the cop's car. The locals have had to deal with me on more than one PTSD episode in the past. He asks both my and the seller's sides. He goes on to tell how she had tried to buy the car for $500 and he refused it before selling it to me since the price was $1,100. I tell how I bought it and pull out the title. The sergeant takes it to his car for a title check. It came back having been the guy since he bought it off the Nissan lot. I'm given the keys and told to go. I offer the seller a ride as the sergeant starts losing his shit on the cop while they were both getting handcuffed. No clue what's going to happen to them. Honestly, not giving a fuck either. Holy crap! That escalated so far, so much in the middle with the rape claim about taking the car and one of them. Let's have a look. What did it say? What did it say? That my ex-husband stole my son's car and sold it to the guy he takes turns raping my son with. I mean, what the fuck? I don't know if I quite believe that part. I mean, the whole story in itself is really believable. That part is just insane. Would someone really say that? I mean, reading these stories so much now, it really wouldn't surprise me, but holy shit, that's crazy. Regardless, thanks very much for sharing, LoJack, and I hope the PTSD isn't too severe, my man. Now we have a story from Awesome Kitty Zombie. How did you come up with that username? Please tell me. We're all good Christians, and you're all going to hell. Hi, I love Daddy Cringe. This is also my first post on an entitled parent story. I'm not sure if this counts, but they are parents, and they do act entitled. Dive on in then, I say. This is going to be long. I'm not sure if a TLDR would even summarise it. So if you don't read it, you don't read it. Also on my mobile, so yeah, yada yada yada. Sorry for misspellings, mistakes, all that good stuff. Let's get on with the story, eh? So there's a long backstory behind this. We have neighbours that live almost directly across from us. The house is offset. They have been living there for almost as long as we have. We've been here a bit longer. We live on a private road, but that doesn't really matter to the story. I've been good friends with their son, and my little sister is good friends with their daughter. They're a bit younger than me, but we're still friends and like to hang out. So I'm going to drop this now. My brother and I, we're twins, are gay. I like girls, he likes boys. Well, my brother has a girlfriend who is transgender, male to female. She's the sweetest thing ever and literally could not hurt a fly. While our neighbours, the parents, not the kids, are uber religious. They do not like that my brother and I are gay and that we support LGBTQ. But whatever, it's alright. They tolerate us and still allowed us to play with their children. Well, recently they've been very pulled back and rude to us as neighbours. It started out when we were all in a clan together in Clash of Clans and told my dad to basically get out of the clan. That's a whole other story in itself. This spurred my mother, my sister, 2 clanmates and myself to leave the clan. That's where it all began. Sorry to laugh, but I love that this is all happening in Clash of Clans. You're all neighbours and live really close together, but the drama's all happening in Clash of Clans. So a couple of years pass and they don't allow their daughter to hang out with us for silly reasons. Also another story in itself. But then they found out that my brother has a transgendered girlfriend. Last year she came to visit. She's from the UK. Much love, Brits. And they didn't realise that she was a trans. She had just started hormone therapy. A few months after, she left to go back home. They started being very nasty to us again. Again, the parents. The kids are absolute sweethearts. When they found out my brother's girlfriend is trans, they texted my mother and told her, paraphrasing, that they're good Christians and did not believe in the lifestyle that we are living, and they want nothing to do with us, and hope that one day we'll realise our sins and be able to save ourselves from going to hell. Well, my mum went to Catholic school, so she starts quoting the Bible to the neighbour, the mother, with quotes like, love thy neighbour like you love thyself, and stuff like that. They didn't like that, at all. They have barred their children from even associating with us, and refused to even acknowledge that we are real people. So, what do we do? My mother went out and bought a flag that says, love always wins, that has a rainbow on it. She also bought another flag that has different religious symbols, that has a gay pride flag on it. And we are planning to hang that up soon. Then we got mini flags of the gay pride flag and the transgender pride flag and put them on our mailbox. We are planning on planting flowers at the end of the road that are colourful and rainbow, and we are getting our neighbours to do the same. We found out yesterday the transgender pride flag has broken off our mailbox. Could have been the wind, but the flag is pretty strong, but we simply taped it back up. This is an ongoing battle right now. The kids are fine. In fact, the daughter is showing lesbian-like tendencies and the parents are shitting themselves in fear. Like I said, it's the parents who are really arseholes. The kids are angels, and my friend, their son, told me he still enjoys hanging out with me and doesn't give a flip whether I'm gay or not. That's not for him to judge or frown upon. Props to their children for being more open-minded. I hope this wasn't too long of a read, and this really scrapes the surface. I would have to retell stories from back when I was in middle school and when my house burned down in 2016. But those are stories for another day. Whew. And don't forget to share those stories. Of course, we want to hear them. And another story I'd like to hear, because you said that you're twins and you're both gay. I'd love to know how that came about. Like, how did you have to like open up to your parents? Did you both do it at the same time? Did you both and I'm being very careful with my words here because I don't want to be offensive in any way. When you discovered that you're both gay, I don't know if that's the right way to phrase it. Did you tell each other first as twins and then tell your parents, or did you come out one by one, or did your parents know to begin with? I mean, some parents can like just tell, you know. So I think that'd be a fascinating story to find out. So yeah, please tell us that one. But holy shit, I love that it went from Clash of Clans, so you guys were all gaming and you're in a little clan together, like as families, and then it spills out into real life and you're like living opposite each other. It's like real life Clash of Clans. But thank you very much for sharing that story, and keep up the fight. It sounds like you're winning at the moment. Much love, guys. Now we have a story from Dylan Crazy Cat 64. Kid breaks my first camera. Parents get arrested. Just so you know, I've been wanting to post this to r/entitledparents, but don't have enough karma. Ah, so I see. Daddy Cringe's second best this time, has he? I'm only joking, dude. Much love. Background, on mobile, never posted this sub before. When I was 12, I bought my first camera. I piled all my savings and gave my dad $500 and ordered it through eBay. When it arrived, it was like I was in heaven. I could not put that thing down. I'm still using that camera as a B camera. So after using my kit lens to take close-ups of all the flowers in my house, I went to go on a trip to Red Deer, Canada. I took my camera in my little bag and pulled it out of the condo we have up there. ED entitled Dad, EM entitled Mum, EK Spawn of Satan entitled Kid, MM my mother, me, I hope. Me and my mum, divorced, go and drive the rental car over to Bower Ponds. I'm walking around the ponds and taking pictures of the really cute beaver that just popped his head out of the water. We're in a kind of secluded spot in this park and I hear footsteps. I turn around because not many people come this way. Hi, have a nice walk. EK says, Beaver, beaver, beaver. What the fuck? Me, if you're that loud you might scare it. I want to get a good photo of it. EM walks over and pulls out her phone to take a pic. Would you mind if I take a picture with your camera, because it would look better? I say, no thanks, I just saved up for it and it's very important to me. My mother says, let her just take a couple, it won't take too long. I hand the camera to her. EM takes a few pics. Can you email me those? I had an Android phone, but my mum has an iPhone. At this time, the Nikon Snapbridge app was only Apple. Mum, can I use your phone to email those? Mum says sure, hands me the phone. I have her punch in her email and email them. My mum hands the camera to the kid. EK tries to take a photo, but his hands are too small to hit the button. EK tries one more time to take a picture and drops the camera. I run over to see if it's okay. The lens is shattered. I start sobbing. I saved up for years and got it a couple of weeks ago and I'm very emotional. Me, in between sobs. Mum, the lens is broken. And hear Mum and the parents talking about what to do. It's not our fault, you gave it to us. My mum says, yes it is. You let your kid drop it. We're not paying for it. Mum is holding the camera by the strap in a way that if you tugged on it, it would fall. If grabs the camera and starts running. My mum and I start running after him with EM and EK trailing behind. She calls the park office and tells them to check everyone exiting. She then acts like she's tired and sits on a bench. After being on hold for about 5 minutes, they pick up and say they found the camera with the lens smashed and ask if it was ours. We say yes and start walking over. Once we get there, we're ushered into the office. They say the police are on their way and to wait here. The cops show up and say that Ia can either pay for the lens and get arrested for attempted theft, or not pay for the lens and get arrested for damaging property and attempted theft. They choose the latter. It's a $150 US lens. It is dragged away in handcuffs and the police say it might take up to a month to get reimbursed for the damage. A week later, we get back on the plane for California, and 2 weeks after that, receive a package in the mail containing a new lens. Actually a better one than the one I had, because it was discontinued. All is now well. But that must have ruined your trip is what really pissed me off. I mean, you specifically went out there to take some photos and you got your new lens, your new camera and start taking photos. One of the things that really sort of triggered me though is that, I know it's your mum and stuff, but there's no way she should have said to let them take pictures with your camera. I mean, those cameras are DSLRs are expensive as fuck. So to let some random person start taking photos with it is beyond me. I mean, most people, I know you've got the automatic settings on a lot of these cameras, but most people don't know how to use a DSLR properly. So to let them and a little kid start using it, it's just absolutely crazy. It should have just been a no from the start, and then you could have avoided the situation and not have ruined your trip. But, you know, I totally get where you come from, and I'm glad you got a better lens in the end. So much love for sharing that story, Dylan. Thank you very much. Next we have a story from Bonnie Raven. Thank you very much for sharing. Entitled cousin tried to steal her mother's money while she was dying in the hospital. Fucking hell, here we go. Background, my aunt, who we call Dee, passed away 2 years ago to colon cancer after fighting it for many years. All 5 of her kids have been raised to do whatever they want with my aunt and uncle's way of parenting. This story focuses on the night my aunt was rushed into hospital. EC, cousin, who is the worst sort of person. D, aunt, that is dying, / EC's mum. So 2 years ago in January, D calls for my grandma to come to her. D lived with my grandma, my other aunt, we call her T, T's 8-year-old daughter, and me. My grandma and T both rush into the room to check on D. D hadn't been able to get out of bed all day, or even eat. Grandma ended up calling for an ambulance, and she and T went with them. I had to stay and watch T's daughter and let D's kids know what was happening if they came to the house first. Around midnight, EC comes to the house. She immediately goes into the room D and I shared and started going through D's dresser. I say, "What are you doing, cousin?" "I'm looking for my mum's wallet. Have you seen it? I want to take it to her. She asked me to." I knew this was bull right away. Grandma had taken D's wallet with them because D's insurance card. EC knew her mum's PIN for her bank account. I didn't want her going to the hospital and trying to take the wallet from my grandma with some BS lie, so I ended up lying to EC. I then say, "I think T's son took it to the hospital. He came by shortly after they left. Didn't you see him at the hospital?" Cousin said, "I didn't. He must have left." Later on after she left, my grandma called and said D had passed away after going into a coma around the time EC showed up. That heartless bitch didn't even wait before trying to steal her mum's money. I have more stories on EC and her siblings and some of the crap they do. Let me know if you want to hear some more of it. Of course I want to hear some more of it, because what we've got with this one, I don't mean it in any disrespect to you, because we're only seeing like sort of one side. We're only hearing your side of the story. Obviously this cousin, they might have done loads of shit in the past, so you got a really negative light and know what that person's about. Whereas the way I've just sort of read it, it's sort of like they could have been just coming to pick up the wallet to take it to their mum. We don't know that. But at the same time, you know this person, so you know they're a bastard. So I'm gonna take your word for that, because you know you wouldn't be posting it otherwise. But holy shit, who does that? You know, I've mentioned it a lot, so ignore me if you want to. But yeah, my family has been going through a whole shitload of cancers and stuff just recently. I got a family member who's got colon cancer, had a part of their colon taken out recently, and they're still fighting it to this day. They're doing okay, but yeah, it is an absolute bitch, and it hurts so bad. Regardless of your relationship with the family, it still hurts to see a family member going through that, you know. So all I can say is much love to you and your aunt, and I hope your family's doing better, and that cousin is getting a bit of karma to them, you know, because they obviously don't care about people, their own mother dying, so you know, fuck them basically. Thank you very much for sharing, Bonnie Raven. Much love.